Hi everyone, it's Anna from Amazon Pay. Thank you for taking time today to tune into this month's webinar featuring 10 insights about AI and connected commerce. So welcome to the January edition of 10 in 20, our bi-monthly webinar series where we cover one topic in 10 questions, points or ideas, and we do it in 20 minutes or less. Why so short? Well, time is our most precious resource, and if you've got more than 20 minutes spare, I would love to know your secret. So yeah, there's another reason why we keep things short. Sometimes I can be a fast talker, so yeah, just to be warned. Our goal is to share big ideas that you can turn into big wins. We don't have all of the answers, but the road to big wins always begins with a question. So with that, let's get started. And speaking of questions, feel free to submit your questions via the chat window at any time. Before we dive in, I want to offer you a quick overview on what Amazon Pay is, because believe it or not, we get that question more than you'd think. Amazon Pay is a payment option that lets you use the payment details and addresses stored in your Amazon account. That means customers don't need to create a new account, punch in credit card details, or look up addresses during checkout. You can even use Alexa to buy things, get delivery notifications, and donate to your favorite charities with Amazon Pay. It also goes without saying that the way in which people shop is changing quickly. And I suspect all of us can sometimes feel like our head is spinning, just trying to keep up with every new social network, shopping innovation, or connected experience that promises to reinvent consumer behavior. While many of those early stage technologies may or may not be having an impact on how people shop, we're going to focus on innovation that's already changing the face and sound of retail. We're talking about AI, powered voice, of course. So for this month's 10 in 20, we're going to focus on better understanding the way in which voice has the power to completely transform the shopping experience for both consumers and retailers. This month, we are featuring Chris Tracy, Head of Account Management for Amazon Pay within the UK. So with that, I would like to hand over to Chris.
Thanks, Anna, for the introduction. First on my agenda then, the voices are growing louder. There is no doubt that AI-powered voice commerce is becoming an increasingly familiar part of shoppers' journeys. According to research conducted by Amazon, surveying more than 10,000 consumers in 8 countries, 44% said they're likely to use voice services in at least some part of their shopping journey in the next 3 years. Just like the internet in the 90s and mobile commerce in the 2000s, voice commerce is poised to transform retail, and that means it's more important than ever to remain ahead of the trends. As VP of Amazon Pay, Patrick Gauthier has written, "Each time early adopters saw the technology opportunity, prepared for it, and came out a step ahead. Those who felt there was no reason to invest right now were left scrambling to catch up. Start to integrate voice into your shopping journey today." Next up, it's more than just tracking an order. When asked about specific activities within each phase of the shopping journey, our research has found that consumers are interested in using voice services in every stage of their experience. Product searches during the research phase and delivery notifications during the post-purchase phase had the most popular responses, with 43% of respondents expressing interest. But they also showed that they intend to use voice for far more complex interactions, with 26% indicating that they will use voice for banking and paying bills, 22% expressed sending and receiving money from friends, and 19% expected to donate to a charity. For today and tomorrow's consumers, voice is already a lot more simply asking about the weather through a digital assistant. Businesses are using voice as a channel to sell real-world goods and services, like theatre tickets and flower delivery. They're providing product details and even teaching more about their brand through quizzes and games. But that's hardly the end of the story. Because voice is still a relatively young technology, there remains a wealth of opportunity and creativity that is yet to be explored. Convenience is king. The top 2 voice commerce drivers are ease of use, 49%, and speed, 44%. And when you think about it, this makes perfect sense. After all, we speak 2 times faster than we type. Through this speed, voice lets consumers get more by doing less. It's also a completely natural act. Customers can interact with your brand as if they're having a conversation, not searching through the FAQ pages of your site. While it's possible to create a variety of experiences using voice, get started with skills and features that are going to make your customers' lives easier. Answers to frequently asked questions, tracking packages, and offering product details are all great places to start. And you should also consider how you're making it as easy as possible for your customers to shop when they're using their voice. That means your store's offerings on voice channels probably should not include everything you sell online. Instead, favor highlighting bestsellers, daily deals, or items that need to be frequently replenished. Enhancement, not replacement. Consumers are showing signs of adding voice as an incremental channel, not as a replacement to physical stores and e-commerce. And that doesn't come as much of a surprise. Since the advent of digital technologies in the 1990s, consumers have adopted channels like e-commerce and mobile to complement but not replace their experience of physical stores. Creating a voice commerce experience isn't intended to supplant one or more of your existing sales channels. Instead, you should think about shaping the voice experience around moments where your customer can find added value. Voice is an always-on channel. 1 in 3 people in our survey said they like the in-the-moment aspect of voice. That's because voice as a channel allows them to move quickly from the desire and think phases to the purchase phase. And the novelty that still surrounds voice is also a selling point. 1 in 3 people said they will also try it for its novelty factor. Highlight the ability of your customers to make purchases on voice at any time that's right for them, whether prompted by a product they've just seen on TV, the sudden realization they need to get more dishwasher detergent, or because of a special sale. That means the discovery and purchase flow should be as seamless and as simple as possible, requiring little effort on behalf of your customer to get what he or she wants. Next up, the connected consumer is you. Consumers are signaling the embrace of a multi-channel experience within the shopping journey, with 42% likely to be involved in one that spans multiple channels in 3 years. In fact, 39% are quite comfortable with starting their journey in one channel and ending it on another today. Among those who will use multiple channels for shopping, 1 in 4 state that they will start a journey on voice and end it online or at a physical store. Failing to deliver on a continuous cross-channel experience simply isn't an option anymore, especially because consumers are unforgiving. 71% will switch from a seller if it does not offer a good customer experience. 59% will not only switch, but will also be vocal as they will share their unpleasant experience with friends and family. It's more important than ever that your customers feel they can engage with you wherever they are. Think of the voice experience you offer as a real conversation with your customers and another opportunity to build a relationship with them. Keep the private stuff private. The biggest measure that will boost confidence in a brand, no matter what the channel, is if it guarantees it will not share consumer information without permission. 55%, in fact. 8 out of 10 consumers will switch from a brand if they do not trust it to keep their data safe. Consumers need to know that their information and data will not be shared without explicit permissions, especially when it comes to interaction as intimate as speech. Don't let your privacy policies get lost in small print or legal boilerplate. Customers should be able to find it easily, understand and control the policies your company maintains around data capture. Be transparent about the information you're capturing. If you're requesting data that is outside industry norms, let the consumers understand and know why. Signal trust at checkout. As with any new technology, one substantial barrier to entry is people's natural suspicions about its trustworthiness. The presence of well-known digital payment options is the first of the top 3 signals that will increase consumer trust in websites that are less familiar to them, 48%. When it comes to voice services, about 40% are more comfortable using digital payment services over credit cards. There's a simplicity and seamlessness when natural language becomes the primary interface, but that doesn't quite extend to inputting payment details. The ease that voice offers quickly becomes compromised when a customer is compelled to find her wallet, take out her credit card, and provide billing and shipping details, unable to visually verify the legitimacy of a business's website or online reviews. By offering simple, seamless checkout through a trusted third-party payment solutions, merchants offering voice can appeal to a connected consumer, circumventing the trust gap that comes with less familiar websites. Make purchasing easy and be where the customer is. Give the consumer payment options so they're more likely to proceed with their purchase earlier in their customer buying journey. As a consumer who works primarily from my mobile device, I find more and more that if I'm presented with multiple payment options, such as Amazon Pay, I'm likely to make my purchase on a first-time visit instead of waiting. It's a psychological mindset that we trust Amazon, and given the Amazon A to Z guarantee, we'll make that purchase immediately. And it's not just Amazon. Whatever the consumer's preferred payment methods are, give them multiple options beyond just credit cards. That's the barrier that most often loses me in my buying journey. When you're laying in bed navigating the web, the last thing you want to do is get up and grab your wallet. Make it easy for people to buy from you. However, even with many options, we can't win them all on the first visit. So pair being where the customer is with multiple payment options. This means having a strong retargeting strategy in place that keeps you top of mind. Build your influence. Leverage social influencers of all types to reach your desired audience on their preferred platform. Find influencer marketing strategists who are dedicated to building relationships with influencers of all types. You can find anything from interior design Instagram influencers with 3,000 passionate followers promoting a new furniture line to large-scale gamers on Twitch with 800,000 subscribers. Diverse relationships can help you build partnerships all across the web, depending on who your intended audience is. Think of your intended audience, identify the best influencer to reach that audience, then start small with a few tests. For example, if you're selling a children's toy, start with 2 smaller reach influencers. First, send your product to a mum blogger so she can put together a blog post on how this new toy was great for her children. Second, send your product to a child influencer on YouTube who can do an unboxing experience. These are 2 different approaches that will inevitably have 2 sets of results, which you can measure to see what's best for your business. And one very important influencer marketing tip when thinking about your strategy: size only matters sometimes. Don't just go after the big influencer with 1 million followers. The best influencer partnerships are built on the right product fit for the right audience. That might mean partnering with an influencer who only has a couple of thousand followers on Instagram. If those 2,000 people trust that influencer's product recommendations, it may be much more effective than an influencer with 50,000 followers with the wrong audience. You can use micro influencers, for example, to reach specific audiences. So let's recap. Here at Amazon Pay, we believe that the same way the internet revolutionized retail and then mobile upended the industry, voice commerce is going to have that same impact. But just as with any technology that's still relatively young, it's not always easy to understand best practices and customer expectations around voice. Our research offers some timely insight to inform how and where your business can invest to provide a relevant, connected experience for your future customers. Fundamentally, customers want their shopping experience to be easier, more convenient, and more fun. If possible, offers one way to appeal to the wants and needs of your everyday shopper.
Thanks, Chris, for those 10 top tips. So if you're already a fan, we'd love it if you could visit G2 Crowd and let us know how we're doing. And if you think Amazon Pay might be a good fit for your business, you can also check out our reviews on G2 Crowd. Recently, Amazon Pay was recognized by G2 Crowd as a leader in the payments industry for the 4th quarter in a row. For those of you that don't know, G2 Crowd is an independent review site that aggregates software and services reviews to help businesses make smarter decisions about the technology solutions that they choose. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for joining us again today, and we hope to see you at our next webinar, which will be in March. Thanks a lot.